So hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So this video is the part 2 of the previous video. So in the previous video I had talked about the 4 life rules given by Mr. Chetan Bhagat in their book of 11 rules of life. So in that first in the first rule he had explained about the role of fitness, and in that he explained 3 things: sleep, diet and exercise. Then second, he talked about mastering your emotion. If you really wanted to be successful guy, you need to be master your emotions. Third, he had talked about putting yourself first. Giving the priority of yourself first is the most important trait of the successful people. And fourth, which I had talked in previous video, was mastering simple English. So here in this video onwards, I'm going to give you rest of 4 another life rules given by Mr. Chetan Bhagat in the book he had written over, right? So without wasting our time, let's begin. So the 5th very important trait, life lesson, life rule, how successful live their life, given by Chetan Bhagat, is that successful people do not rely on the cheap dopamine. So you must be asking that, and should let me know that what is dopamine is. So dopamine is basically an hormone which comes over in our body, which will generated while we get some kind of enjoyment, right? So in the case of enjoyment, in the kind of pleasure, we get dopamine. So now you would be thinking that dopamine, why he is talking about cheap dopamine, right? So cheap dopamine is basically when we get instant pleasure. Suppose we are just scrolling reel, YouTube videos, shorts, even we are doing something for getting short-term pleasure, which we can get in just few of the second, on a single click, on a watching few reels, right? So this is cheap dopamine. So successful people do not come over the cheap dopamine. They always been getting, they always been driven by dopamine, because that's where the getting the pleasure things comes over, right? So what they chase, they only chase the hard dopamine, right? Suppose you had made a task, okay, for your day, that today I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. So while you would be following those tasks along your day, and at the end of the day you would be getting dopamine. So this is hard dopamine. This is not cheap dopamine, because you had already followed all the things which you feel that you should do, and because you had consistently did it for whole day, now you get a pleasure. So there also dopamine comes in, okay, but this is not cheap dopamine. So people in the 5th rules of life, how successful live their life, he mentioned about that they do not being overcome by cheap dopamine, okay. Next, in the 6th important life rule given by Mr. Chetan Bhagat is that that again, successful people never take the regret of doing something. They do not take the regret. There are 2 kind of regret. In the book he had talked about the regret of not doing and regret of failure, okay. There are 2 things, and he feels any successful people will always choose the regret of second. He never be thinking that I would be not trying something because it's hard, right? So never taking the opportunity is something which gives you more regret than never trying, right? So what most successful people used to do, they start their work, doesn't think that much they gonna to succeed or not, and at the end of the day, if they got succeed, then they're successful. Otherwise they get some experience out there, but they never take the regret of not starting something. So getting what successful people do have traits in there, how they are being successful. So very important trait is not giving up, starting over without thinking that much. So this is also very important life rule given by Mr. Chetan Bhagat. Next, in 7th, he had talked about eating the elephant. What does it mean? The few of the things you would be coming across your mind while I'm saying that eating the elephant is something that this is something concerning with large task. Here the elephant, because elephant is very large in terms of size, so while successful people do have to do a lot of big things, they do not think that much at a particular instance. What they do, they eat the elephant in a pieces, right? What they do here, he had also given their own example, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, that because he I mean, just cleared the IIT then landed to an IIT for BTech, right, for the engineering, then comes for IIM for the MBA. Now he had doing the writing in a very successful manner since a long time. So these are the elephant tasks. If I give you task, hey, look, don't watch this video. After this video, you have to be a very successful people. You have to make thousands of crore company. You have to, clear the IIT, you have to go into the IIM, you have to meet the biggest founder of the world. So this looks like a biggest elephant. This looks like a great deal, great task for you. But now, if you would be only thinking about that this is the last thing I need to do, so might be you would be not getting a path, right? So here what he had talked about, eating the elephant, that don't eat the elephant at a particular instance. Firstly, cut down the elephant. So let's take that example of clearing the ITJ. That is the biggest elephant you need to eat. So what you used to do, just take a plan for 2 years, 1 year, what according to your capabilities. Now divide the elephant, divide the things that what you need to do achieve. Suppose there are 3 subjects you need to learn: physics, chemistry and mathematics. Particularly allocate the time, that how much time you need to give to a particular subject. Then comes to the chapter, that in particular physics subject how many chapters are there, and at particular daily basis how many hours you need to dedicate on particular subject. So here what you are doing, you are not thinking much about elephant, you are just being concerned about your peace, right? So that's where the eating the elephant comes, right? So ultimately one day you would be eating the elephant, but it does not start from thinking that much about that. You need to just cut the piece and started eating that elephant, right? So this was the thing I need to emphasize. Thank you, and hoping you would be seeing the next video. Bye.